You know what's not fair about that Gaborik, Richardson, Nash line? They have Lundqvist too.
I like Lundqvist a lot better when he was on Jimmy Fallon.
And then,
Yes, please do!
What a great goal!
dude, crazy throwing waffles.
Who are you?
Optimus Prime.
Leafs lose 5-2 to the New York Rangers. And I hope the Leafs bounce back with a better effort next game, or this is going to be the longest shortened season ever. Things started out feisty, a couple fights to open up the game. Mike Brown taking care of Aaron Asham with the left. Colton Orr taking down a much bigger Mike Rupp. Mikhail Grabowski, Belarusian backhand, 1-0. James Van Riemsdyk looks like he's playing Twister in Lundqvist's crease, 2-0. However, and I'm not sure how many teams could pull this off, it was a weak 2-0. The Leafs come out of the first up 2-0, and miraculously, because they were outshot 14-3. Rangers finally get on the board in the second. Nash can't score, Gaborik can't score, but Richards scores. And even more than the lopsided shot total, that kind of made me go, oh. Gaborik with Nash and Richards is silly. Hockey Night in Canada made them the first, second, and third stars of the game, and I'm just looking at it on TV like, how is this line possible outside of a video game? $22 million in salary cap space. Salary's even more! And that line, as well as the whole Rangers team, really exposed the Leafs. First game of the season, first 3, maybe even 4 games of the season, I was like, high fives, hell yeah, Mike Koska. Everyone who watched the Marlies talked about how great Koska was. He was great in the AHL finals last year. He's got to have a spot in the Leafs. And then, wow, first pair. Who could have thought? And I'm like, what up, underdog story? Oh, feel my heart. It's warmed. This is giving me the warm and fuzzies. We're only a few games later. He plays over 31 minutes against a team that has that 3-headed monster of a line. And I'm just like, don't do that. And I'm not about to completely dump on Mike Koska. I've actually liked him. I like his effort, which, believe it or not, is a nice thing to see. But the Toronto Maple Leafs do not have a single defenseman. You should be playing over half an hour a game. Unless you make it into double or triple overtime, and you got to make the playoffs to do that. Dion Phaneuf played over 32 minutes. And I love being able to tweet about the game before I make these videos, because I started tweeting about, okay, Phaneuf, by the way, has the single worst plus-minus in the National Hockey League right now. -8. Mike Koska, the second worst, with -7. Now, plus-minus, we've talked about this before, is a flimsy stat. But flimsy or not, if you're the league worst in something, there might be something there. Then Eric Prime chimes in and says, well, it's much more of a team stat. True say, brethren. That's the scary part. Phaneuf plays 32.5 minutes. Koska plays over 31. And then you drop all the way down to Gunnarsson, who played 21.5. That's still quite a bit, especially for not a top pairing defenseman. Everyone else under that. And that's the thing. Do you maybe play Lyles 20 minutes a game? Mark Frazier only played like 6 minutes. Do you bump him up to like 15 minutes? Mike Komisarek, how many of you want me to actually finish that sentence? Well, get well soon, Jake. And it's a shame the Leafs just weren't able to weather the storm, because it really took away from what was a great performance from James Reimer. He lets in 4 goals, and hockey's a game of mistakes, so at some point someone had to screw up, but I'm not sure you blame any one of those 4 goals on him. Nash shoots, Gaborik rebound, Richards rebound. One of those is going in. That sick Gaborik Del Zotto stall goal, Gaborik's perfect tip, and then the massive screen in front where 5'10" Leo Komarov is desperately trying to push 6'7" Brian Boyle out of the way. Reimer robs Rick Nash on a breakaway. He makes a few other really good saves. He gave the Leafs a chance to win, which is something that you hear Reimer and Scrivens talk about. All they can do is give them a chance. And who knows, things might change, but damn, the Leafs are not on the Rangers level. The Rangers are sick. They've had a really rough start to the season, I think, but they could win the cup. Whether you think they won the Rick Nash trade or not, they changed a major part of their team. Plus the lockout, that's like double screwiness with their lineup. It's going to take them a while to adjust. But their season overall, especially their second half, is probably going to be disgusting unless someone gets hurt. And unless that someone's Lundqvist, they're still arguably the best team in the East. So here's a problem. We're going to try to find a solution. Question of the game. You're Dave Nonis. What do you do right now? You just became GM of the biggest team in hockey, but you're also not completely in the dark. You've been around. What do you need to do? You're Dave Nonis, and you look at your roster, you see them playing on the ice, you see them getting dismantled by the Rangers, and you're like, we need a blank type player. Or, because you just got the team and because it's a shortened lockout season, do you go, I think we need a blank type player, but I'm going to wait. And I know it's only 5 games in, but this is already starting to wear a little thin. This team has 1,000 questions, and none of them are, how much do playoff tickets cost? And this question just occurred to me. I'll add this. How does Phil Kessel get a goal? Seems to me the Leafs are better when he gets a goal. Or 2. Luckily, and definitely much needed in a season like this, the Leafs have a couple days off now before they take on Buffalo on Tuesday. They can regroup. Never know, maybe they'll come back a totally different team. Rest is even more key in a season like this, and they outplayed the Sabres in a 2-1 loss to them. Maybe it's time to pick up the W and pull to 500. And the Leafs Nation has a Facebook page. Check it out in the underbar. Give it a like. And maybe we can armchair GM it together and figure out how to get the Leafs their own Gaborik Richards Nash line, right? No? Damn.